Well, hi, Cancers! Welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It is time for your weekly reading. I'm shuffling the Guardian Angel cards first. We're going to take out some word of advice from your Guardian Angels and Spirit Guides before we get started on this reading. So, we are getting there. I'm going to get all the way through this deck. And here we go. Let's find out what your Guardian Angels and Spirit Guides have to say about this reading. Here we go. It's card number 4, and it's called Organization. So I will read this to you. Your plans are on target, and everything will flow more smoothly if you add a little organization and discipline to your methods. The key to success is to allow your creativity to be gently guided by logic. Be open to asking for help from someone very intellectual or seek out a mentor. Keep that in mind. Okay. Cancers. Let's do your tarot card reading. Let's find out what you can expect coming in your life, what you can expect going out of your life. I have shuffled these cards very well, but I'm giving it just a couple more little quick shuffle throughs. And here we go for Cancers. What's coming into Cancer's lives, please? And what is leaving? What advice do we have for Cancers, please? What advice? What's coming in? What's leaving our Cancer's lives? Come on now, slippery cards. Come on. For Cancers, please, universe. Okay, let's see what we have so far. So I put the cards down in the same order they come out of the deck. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. You can take what does resonate or think about a private reading. I do private readings. If you would like one from me, just click the description box below, send me an email to get started. Very easy. Okay. We got a few cards left to go towards the second part of your reading. So Cancers, the overall energy of your reading is the King of Swords. All the kings and queens are very mature-minded. This is Air, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. That might be in your chart or in someone else's chart. But this is your energy. You have your sword out. You're very stern. You're very much seeking the truth and the clarity here that comes before you, okay? And you're not going to make any moves until you know exactly what that truth and clarity is. And if you have to use your sword, you will use your sword, okay? So very mature thinking, very much on guard as far as who you letting come close to you, who you believe, who you don't believe, just whatever it might be. So I'm going to keep reading. We're going to find out more. I have the King of Pentacles, again another king, in your highest energy. So the King of Pentacles, this is Earth, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That might be strong in someone's chart around this reading. But this tells me you have a huge, look at that huge pentacle you got there. I think you're hanging on to it. I know that. And I think you're very guarded about handing it out. I think you're going to be so absolutely, positively, for sure about whoever it is that you hand that pentacle out to or that you share it with. Okay, so you're very mature thinking. You've probably been around the block, you know, so you know that you want to hang on to your pentacles until you're absolutely sure that you want to share it with someone. That is security, stability, commitment, groundedness. And right next to the King of Pentacles is the Hierophant, the card for Taurus. So Taurus is an earth sign. Right next to the King of Pentacles, earth sign. So, you know, there really could be earth strong in your chart or in someone else's around this reading. But the Hierophant here is about traditional values, traditional morals. It's about security, stability, groundedness. This is a very spiritual card for marriage, where you're on guard here about a commitment, about making a commitment, about being in a commitment. And we're going to keep reading. I have the Eight of Cups. Oh my goodness. The Eight of Cups is like turning your back on love. So I feel like I don't think you want to give up your pentacle. I don't. I think that the opportunity is in front of you. But the deeper you delve into this commitment or possible commitment, the more that I don't think you really want it. I think you're going to turn your back on it, and you're thinking about doing that. The moon is out. It's shining the light in the dark so that you can find your way away from those cups of love. Okay? So you're turning your back on love here. And it is about the commitment. I got the Four of Swords under the King of Pentacles and next to the King of Swords. So you did spend it. You're not taking this lightly. You have spent time alone seeking truth and clarity from the universe. Look at all those swords here. But you've been meditating, praying, soul searching for the truth and the clarity. It's next to the King of Swords. It's under the King of Pentacles. You're trying, like I say, to be absolutely sure this is what you want. And on the other side of the King of Swords is the Fool. So the Fool is under the Eight of Cups. I feel like you would like to give out the Pentacle, but you're discovering this is not the right person to give it out to. Because I feel like whoever it is that you have a connection with or are in a relationship with, you probably entered this relationship in the energy of the Fool. The Fool is like living in the moment, carefree, throwing caution to the wind, living day by day. It's really fun. But you end up finding yourself at the edge of a cliff and start to look forward towards that commitment, that security, that stability, and the other person does not at the same time. And it's awkward, and I think that's why you're turning your back on this relationship. I don't think the other person's ready. You were getting ready, but the truth is, when you get right down to it, they weren't. I have the Five of Cups under the Four of Swords. So yeah, you're really disappointed. I think something was said about a commitment, about even being monogamous is a type of commitment. So you're very disappointed looking at the spilled cup, not even looking. You got your head buried down on your knee here. And I'm very disappointed in love. But right above this figure are two full cups. So I do call this the card for hope and love. So there's still hope and love out there, even though you're very disappointed and you're turning your back and walking away from a relationship, it looks like. The Five of Cups is right next to the Ten of Cups, and which is right below the King of Swords. So yeah, this is an equal exchange of love. This is union between two people. It's a very family-oriented card with lots of love and joy and rainbows, sunshine. You're walking away from it. Here's the Tower moment right here. It's under the Fool card next to the Ten of Cups. So you're walking away from it. There's going to be a Tower moment. You're not seeing eye to eye on how to move forward in this relationship. I don't think the other person's ready. I think they're still in the Fool's energy, and you're ready. That's what happens with the Fool's energy. It's fun in the moment. And sometimes you move too fast forward with the Fool. And then you find out that the other person, they're stuck in the Fool energy. They're not coming out of it. One more card here. one. There it is. I think I got two. So I think I have an extra card that I will read it. For Cancers, your weekly reading. Okay, Cancers. So I have the Eight of Wands here. It's like you walk, you turn your back, there's a blow up moment, but the communication continues. So I have the Eight of Wands next to the Eight of Cups. So it's like you're broken up, but you're still talking, texting, email, phone calls, video chat, something like that, back and forth, back and forth. It is about the love. We've got the Page of Cups right next to the Eight of Wands. So this is something that's going to be talked about. The Page of Cups is an immature energy. It's like only having a half a cup of love. And if you look close at this, there's a fish poking its head out of that cup. This can be a card for Pisces because of the fish. So Pisces might be strong in someone's chart around this reading. But the Page of Cups here is just immature. Where did I see that? Oh, in the Fool's energy. Very immature. It's like, you know, they just kind of, they love you, but yeah, they're only showing half a cup of love. And then I have the King of Cups. Now this is your energy here next to the Page of Cups. It's a contrast between the two of you. You have a giant cup of love. You're very mature thinking. You already have all these kings, okay? The King of Swords, the King of Pentacles. Now we have the King of Cups. Water, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. This is you, Cancer. And you got that huge cup of love that you've been developing for this person, and you're finding out that they have a half a cup. You got a whole cup. So you pull it back and you hold it close to yourself. You see that? And so this conversation is going to be about the love, like, you know, if you're so afraid to commit to me, you can't have the love that I have for you, period. That it just makes sense. I got the Nine of Wands under the Eight of Wands next to the Fool. So the Fool's energy really has put a burden on you with this card. The Eight of Wands is talking about the burden that it's put on you. Okay? And there's a lot more to talk about here with all these wands. The Nine of Wands is actually right next to the Emperor, which is the card for Aries. So Aries might be strong in someone's chart around this reading. But you're making up your mind. You're being headstrong. You're gonna hold on to what you want. What you want from life, what you don't want from life, what you want from love, what you don't want from love. You're going to be very true to yourself, and you're going to be stubborn in the good way. You're very well liked and respected by others, and you might be a leader in your profession. But the Emperor here, being under the Page of Cups, you're seeing right through them, is what you're doing here. You're seeing right through them that how can they have the love if they won't commit? You are definitely were willing to commit, but now you're pulling back that cup of love so far in this reading. Okay, so far. I have the Ace of Swords next to the Emperor and under the King of Cups. And here's that conversation. I mean, it's all about honesty. It's all about truth, clarity. This is what you need. You know what your truth and clarity is. You need to know what theirs is. And so the tarot cards here are kind of coming out, and they're saying, look, I don't know if they're mature enough to actually, commit. I don't know if you really want them to commit. If you knew how immature they really are. Because it looks like they want to stay in the Fool's energy. I have the Nine of Pentacles under the Nine of Wands and next to the Tower card. This is your energy. Look at all the pentacles you have. You're very grounded. You're out of sorts if you're not grounded. And I think this is throwing you off balance, this whole thing. So it's like, you're very self-assured, and you're grounded, you're secure, you're stable, and this is what you want to continue in your life. So there is this blow up. You're like, you're good on your own. You don't have to be in this Fool's energy with anybody. So there's a blow up. They don't want a commitment? Fine. You're good on your own. That's kind of what I feel here when I'm reading this reading, if this is your reading. I have the Seven of Wands next to the Nine of Pentacles and under the Emperor. So, you know, all those wands, you got the 7, the 8, and the 9 of Wands. So, you know, you're on guard about the communication that's coming in here. You don't know what to believe for sure. So you're going to have to decide what you actually believe. So this is under your card, the Emperor. You're going to be very strong and very strong-minded about this whole situation. You need the truth. I mean, you know, here you have the Pentacle. Here's the offer of a Pentacle. I think what they're saying is, hey, I can commit. You know, just give me some time. I can commit. I can offer that commitment. I can be grounded. I can be secure. And, you know, they can. I think they can if they want to be. And I think they want to be. I think once you get through all this, because the reason I'm saying I think they want to be is that the extra card that came out was the Ace of Cups. And that's a lot of love. You know, they have the Page of Cups here. I think that's just all that they were willing to hand out, that they thought that they could just live in the Fool's energy forever. You know, that doesn't work. So now things are kind of changing. They're like, oh my gosh, you know, I really love this person. I'm losing this person. This person's walking away from me. I had better let them know how I really feel. With the Ace of Swords right in the middle of the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So the truth. Let the truth be known, okay, that they can commit. Matter of fact, they would rather commit than lose you. They would rather love you than lose you. They would rather tell you the truth than lose you. Oh my gosh. How was that like this? So, Cancers. You got a kind of a complicated situation coming up in a love relationship. Because it looks like they're just trying to have their cake like and eat it too, and just think that it can just keep going on and on like that. But you're taking a stand for yourself. You know what you want. And you will walk away from this situation if they can't, you know, step up to the plate, male or female. So, wow. Things are happening for you coming up here. If this is your reading, Cancers, thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot. And I want to thank my guardian angels, my spirit guides, for helping me deliver you this message.